Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day this video finds you. It's boy Jay here, and Jay's a little bit sick, so he's gonna sound a little different than he used to. Please excuse me. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. However, we're talking again about Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, in the trailer that we got dropped, not a single lick of multiplayer was shown. Okay, that's fine. It's super early. They just want to show us something from the game. So that got me thinking, like, hey, I wonder how different multiplayer is going to end up being, if at all, right? We could get some new features, or we could just get the same old what we're used to because, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Even if Wilds ends up being the exact same as Monster Hunter World's format, where we get the 16-player lobbies and 4-player quests, right? So then, in a full lobby, 4 quests would be going at the same time, each quest with 4 people in them, right? However, looking at the trailer, it looks like we're going to get much bigger maps, right? That can support many more monsters at the time. Even just looking at the little monsters we got, I'm not sure we've ever seen monster density this crazy, you know what I mean? So, with the 16-player lobbies and the 4 quests at the same time, what if on the map you could see everyone's quest on the map at the same time, right? Hear me out. So, hypothetically, let's say there's a Rathalos quest posted. 4 people are on a Rathalos quest. Cool? Now, you and your 3 other teammates are hunting Rathalos. However, maybe you could see a ghost, right? Like a almost see-through of the other 12 players and their target monsters on the map as well, right? So, let's say, I don't know, another party of 4 is hunting a Zinogre, and you can look off in the distance and see the ghosts of that quest happening in real time because they're in your same lobby. Wouldn't that be kind of cool, right? So now you're not always going to have like a full lobby of 16, right? What if you have maybe, I don't know, let's choose an odd number, like 11 people in a lobby, right? So 2 quests are full, and maybe when you finish one of your quests, you can decide to join in on that other quest that's currently happening on the map right now, right? It could be an option you select. You know how if you fire an SOS, you can choose to join someone's lobby or go back to camp with them or continue on an expedition with them. Maybe you could have another option that pops up where it's like join in on the other quest that's currently posted in the lobby, because it's still early enough, right? Like if it's within the 10-minute timer where you can still get rewards, that way you can chain quests together and have less downtime, right? Going back to the lobby and then reposting a quest. As people come in and out of the lobby and post their quests, when you finish a quest on the map, you could see, or like a toggle will pop up, hey, do you want to join this other quest that's going on right now on this map, right? So then at that point, the entire map is the lobby, right? Rather than just the hub being the lobby, the entire map is the lobby, and you could kind of see and join and drop in, drop out in real time as other quests are happening on the map, right? Because, in the world of Monster Hunter, a lot of people are hunters. There's a lot of hunters, right? Look at this cutscene from Monster Hunter Tri when they introduced Locklak. There's hunters everywhere. There's quests everywhere. Everyone is everywhere. But Monster Hunter, up to this point in the series, has always been like you, 3 other hunters on the map, and the target monster. Boom, that's it. You don't ever see other hunters doing their thing. You know what I mean? And Sunbreak kind of, went above and beyond, as like a bunch of the NPCs in the town that you're at are also hunters, and you can bring them on hunts with you. So if you use your imagination, it's not hard to imagine that like Fiorane or Gallius would go out on quests on their own because you've seen them perform in the field. But this could kind of take it a step further and really help, like, dang, this really huge map, like you might be able to see, I'm saying the ghosts of other players, because you don't want to have a situation where you fire up a quest, right? And then everybody can interact with every monster. So then it ends up where 16 players just jump the one Rathalos, right? Like, you don't want that to happen because then the balance goes out the window. But like if you see, just ghosts of it, like you see it happening, but you can't really interact with it until maybe you choose to interact with it after your quest, or you can abandon your quest, or maybe even, here's a scenario. You boot up the game, you want to play alone, you log in for your login bonus, and you choose to go on an expedition out on the map, right? And let's say players who started a quest fire an SOS, and then they can show up on your map as ghosts. And like maybe the reason you went on an expedition is you want to hunt down a Rathalos, but you see a guy hunting a Rathalos over there off in the distance, and you're like, you know what? I'll join you, my guy. And you can walk over there. Maybe a toggle will pop up and say, hey, do you want to join this hunt in progress? It gives you, you know, a little detail about the hunt, like how many faints has happened, how much time has elapsed. And you can jump in, boom, choose to jump in right there. And then instead of it being ghosts, now you'll actually see the monster and you'll actually see the player, and you can actually interact with them real time, seamlessly. Just jump in that dude's hunt. Oh man, that dude showed up. He helped me hunt the Rathalos. And then at the end, you guys can maybe continue exploring together, go back to the town together, join a lobby together, blah, blah, blah. You know how there's options that pop up at the end of the hunt where it asks you like, hey, what do you want to do from here, right? I just think that would be a really cool addition to really help with the, oh yeah, there's hunters hunting all the time, everywhere. Like, yeah, if it's this one big map that we really got to share, I think it would be really cool to just be able to see a party of people hunting a monster over there off in the distance, even though like it'll be like a ghost, right? Like something see-through, right? But it would just be cool to be able to like, oh, there's only 3 people in that hunt. I can go join them. Or you can just choose to ignore it entirely and, you know, go gather the mushrooms that you really came here for or whatever, you know? I think that would be a really cool addition, like to just seamlessly jump in someone's hunt. That way, it could be like how I would imagine the Monster Hunter world would be. Like if you're out in the field and you see a newbie hunter having trouble hunting something, and you know you're a real good hunter, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna help this new guy out. I'm gonna just jump in and help him take this thing down, and we can share in the spoils, get the carbs, and be like, hey bro, that was cool, peace out, and then go your separate ways. Or, you know, join each other up and say, hey, you made a new friend, right? I think that would really help with the liveliness and getting the game to really feel like that Lock-Lack cutscene where like, yo, there's hunters everywhere all the time doing their thing, man. So I think that would be cool. That's one like idea I had. Of course, there's going to be problems with the idea. I'm not like a game designer by any means. But let me know in the comments down below how you feel about that idea. I also had another idea when it comes to having, you know, more than 4 players on a map at the same time, and that is a siege, right? So, you know, remember Safi Jiva and Kulv Taroth, right? How the 16-player lobby would run 4 quests at the same time, but things that other parties did would pop up and it would all contribute to the same goal of getting the rewards to pop up and having better rewards in the reward pool or whatever, right? So you get like the message of like another party has broken the head, or another party has gotten the energy level drained, or another party has tracked down Kulv Taroth, right? So what if the siege idea could be taken, you know, a step further using the entire map, right? In this example I have in my head, which could be a bad idea, let me know, comment down below, thumbs down the video, more than welcome to do so. What if like they bring back Nakarkos, right? And I'm using Nakarkos because it's a known monster, right? They could design a whole new monster for this concept, but what if Nakarkos comes back, right? And you know, he's got the tentacle heads, right, that are all over the map, right? And you got to go in there and clear them out as a siege, right? So then you would start a quest in each of the different biomes, right? You could be like Nakarkos suppression in the tundra part, Nakarkos suppression in the desert part, Nakarkos suppression in the forest part, whatever. And as you guys are going around the map, taking down the Nakarkos tentacles or whatever, once the map has been cleared, then you can go back to the lobby and then start a new quest, right? Still only 4 players per quest, by the way, but then you would hunt down the Nakarkos properly, underground or whatever, in the secret pit with the beam, and then you'd see his real form. But going back to seeing multiple players on the map, during that suppression phase of the siege quest, you might be able to look around, right? Let's say the party who does the tundra part, you know, is quicker than everybody else, right? Maybe they could run off and join other parts of the Nakarkos suppression quest in the desert, right? Because the desert party only has 3 people in it. So now you can go join them and then help get it all done quicker, right? And while it's all happening in real time, like you could stop, maybe go to a high place and look around the map. You'd be able to see the other members of the lobby, you know, taking out the Nakarkos tentacles at a time, and you'd see ghosts of the hunters, right? Like they'll be see-through. You can't interact with them until like you actually formally join that quest. because, you know, if 16 players could really all legitimately gang up on one thing, I think balance would be kind of hard to do, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's another way like the sieges could get even more interesting, is the entire lobby works together on the map to do one thing to unlock the next part of the siege. You know what I'm saying? I think that could be cool too. Or even something like a Zorah Magdaros, right? What if Zorah Magdaros becomes I'm gonna use some quotes here, an 8-player quest, right? 4 players are responsible for repelling it and keeping it at bay so as it doesn't come into the town. And then another whole party, another whole quest could be just having you know, the hunters be on the back and actually fighting the Zorah Magdaros from the inside out. You know, that section where you're on his back and you gotta hit the cords and stuff. That could be its own separate quest that works in tandem with like the repelling of it, where with the cannons and the ballistae and the dragonator part. That could be 2 separate quests run at the same time. And you know, maybe during certain portions of the fight, while you're aiming your ballista, you could see the hunters running around on the Zorah Magdaros' back. Or while you're fighting the Zorah Magdaros and you're moving the camera around, you're climbing around, you can pan over to, you know, where Zorah is walking, and you can see, you know, the other party of hunters loading cannons and shooting ballistae and shooting dragonators while you're climbing up to the next node to fight. I think that would be really cool, and it would really help with, you know, the idea of the siege quest being this one huge thing that more than four monster hunters at a time are collaborating and working towards, right? And, you know, to keep the incentive balanced, you could have maybe some rewards only get rewarded to the team that's on his back, and maybe some rewards only get rewarded to the suppression team, you know what I'm saying? And that way there'd be incentives to do both of them. And, you know, you could use SOS to pair up 2 random groups together. Maybe, you know, one group loads up the, you know, the part where you go on the Zorah Magdaros, and then one group is a full group and they're loaded up on the suppression part, and then, you know, it gets paired together like on the internet, and then those guys, you know, they're just random hunters at that point, but you look over and you see and you're like, yo, those are real people over there doing a quest at the same time I'm doing my quest. I think that would be really dope and really help, you know, bring us all together and have that feeling where it's like, yo, there's a whole lot of hunters out there and we're all collaborating together on this, you know, journey of Monster Hunter. I think it would be really cool, and I think it's a cool concept that, you know, if possible, I'd love to see it done. But hey, it's still too early. You know, Monster Hunter Wilds makes me think, because I know it's a real thing, and I just want to discuss more about the game with my fellow hunters. So I make videos about it. Of course, with no new info until the summer, these videos are going to slow down. I am going to get back to hunting things and playing the older games. So don't worry, I'm not just going to spam these Wilds videos. I'm thinking this is going to be the last one for a while, unless I have a conversation here in the comments that really gets me thinking, and then maybe I'll make another one next week. But yeah, this is always fun. Comment down below what you think of these ideas. Let me know if I'm off track. Let me know if, hey, I like what you're talking about, bro. That's really cool. Or thumbs down the video and be like, no, you're stupid. I don't like your ideas. And let's have a chat about it, right? Just don't be rude. Don't be hurtful. And be respectful to your fellow hunters in the comments, people. And as always, happy hunting. Peace.